think we're just a little bit too stressed out, but we should be out here having fun, and sometimes that's not the case.
And joining me now is someone who knows exactly what Simone Biles is going through. She's an Olympic medal winning retired Olympic gymnast. She is Dominque Dawes, aka Awesome Dawson, a 10-year member of the U.S. national gymnastics team, three-time Olympian, member of this Magnificent Seven team at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, the first African-American woman to win an individual Olympic medal in artistic gymnastics, the first Black person to win an Olympic gold medal in gymnastics. Oh my goodness, the list goes on and on. Your accomplishments are astounding. We are honored to welcome you to BNC, Dominque.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, let's talk about the pressure that you must have felt. We're talking about 1996, no social media, no Instagram, nobody watching your every move and tweeting at you and telling you what they like you did and didn't do. What was it like for you then with this type of pressure, especially you being the first Black person? And I'll frame that, of course, in the International Olympics. It's based on country, so it's not African American, it would be Black. Tell us what that was like for you.
That was a great deal of pressure, even before social media, having to have family and friends and fans and the culture of the sport of gymnastics, which is full of a lot of fear, intimidation, and control. And so that was overwhelming, what I had to go through, as well as my 6 other teammates, a part of the Magnificent Seven. Prior to marching out at those Olympic Games, I did have an emotional breakdown beyond the curtain, the blue curtain that was there in the Georgia Dome. I broke down. I was weeping. I was constantly crying. And I knelt down and I prayed with the likes of my team captain, Amanda Borden. I stood up stronger. I felt like I wasn't alone, which was great. However, I could not imagine what Simone Biles has been going through for these last few years as she was preparing for her second Olympics, being the only survivor on the floor, a part of the Larry Nassar scandal, and also just having to endure all the physical and the emotional and the grueling, toll that it takes in the sport.
Yeah, our hearts go out to her, and she is being very brave the way she's handling it. Are you shocked the way that she's come out and said this?
I am, as a mother of four young children, initially it was heartbroken for Simone. There's no way that she really envisioned that her second Olympic run would come to this, that there would be a mental block that she would experience on the vault, which is one of her strongest events, and then it would literally take her out of the rest of the competition. It was a decision that she made, but I commend her for her courage as well as for her humility to listen to her inner voice. She listened to her inner voice and recognized, hey, this is unhealthy for me, not only mentally, but it also could be very harmful for me physically, because if she goes for a particular tumbling move or a dismount on bars, anything that involves maybe twisting, since she got lost in the air, and she balks, there's a serious chance of an injury. And so she did what was best for her as an athlete and as a person.
Yeah, talk to us about the sport of gymnastics, because we all watch there and are just amazed at the tumbling and the spinning and all of that. But as you said, you can literally, really physically harm yourself, because if you're up in the air spinning around like that, doing a twist or a turn, and you sort of lose your senses, you could land on the floor and hit your head or something. Talk about what that's like, the mental toughness and the mental zone that you've got to be in to be able to have your body do that.
It's much more challenging when you're older, when you're more mature, and when you're knowledgeable, and you recognize if you make a wrong move, you could seriously injure yourself. And she's very aware of that at 24 years old, the high level of difficulty that she does on all of the different events, that if she were to make a wrong move, she could break a limb, she could land on her neck. There's a possibility of injuring herself. These athletes are very aware of it, but they face that fear, they face that emotional challenge. But the good thing is she's a 24-year-old grown woman, and she recognized this was not going to be healthy for her mental health. And so she decided to say no and to stop, and she did what was best for Simone Biles. She even said she feels as if she did what was best for the team as well, because if she went out and competed the rest of the meet and didn't do her best, that would jeopardize the chances of the team even earning a medal. The journey of the sport of gymnastics is a very grueling one, and that's why I stand in my own gymnastics academy right now. It's called the Dominque Dawes Gymnastics and Ninja Academy here in Maryland, and it's a very healthy, empowering, encouraging, compassionate culture, which is very different than what the sport of gymnastics is about.
Yeah, and when you competed, you weren't able to express. I mean, I'm shocked you just, said something that I hadn't heard. You said you were crying, breaking down after that competition. Certainly, is that something that you had to hide back then? And are you glad to see the progress that's been made in sport where there is more understanding to these athletes and the pressure that they're under?
I know throughout my many years of competing and making it to 3 different Olympic Games, I always felt that I was emotionally weak because I did cry quite a bit, not only because of physical injuries, but also emotional pain that I was going through. Living a life of fear, living a life of anxiety, being uncertain, being very insecure, wanting to quit the sport of gymnastics. But if you were to quit, who or what were you? All your identity was wrapped up in was being an Olympian or being a gymnast. If you watch the HBO documentary that Michael Phelps did, he talks about
Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost Dominique. It's been wonderful speaking with her, though, and we will, of course, bring her back if we can. Actually, it looks like we do have her back. Dominique, can you hear me now?
Yeah, and you did lose me for a little bit.
Great, we have you back. Okay,
Great.
you're back.
Great.
You're back. Please continue your thoughts because you were talking about, being scared to actually quit gymnastics.
Yes, you're very scared to quit the sport of gymnastics. You've known that's all you've done from the age of 6 till now 24 when I retired. And when I wanted to walk away from the sport, my identity was wrapped up in being an Olympian and being a gymnast. And I didn't know what else Dominque Dawes was about in life and what else I could do. And so you're very scared to step away from something that you know, even if it's something that you're very uncomfortable doing.
And what about you on the world stage as the first Black person winning an Olympic medal in that sport? The pressure of being, the whole race factor. What was that like for you?
I feel very honored. I feel very blessed. And I definitely had some luck on my side to be able to be the first African American woman to qualify to an Olympic Games at the 1992 Olympic Trials in Baltimore, Maryland. Having the audience there in Baltimore cheering me on every step of the way definitely added to the adrenaline rush and the excitement, but definitely added a great deal more pressure. But I feel honored to know that I was able to inspire and empower a group of many generations of young African American young girls to see the sport of gymnastics as something that they can excel at. There's the likes of Gabby Douglas, there's the likes of Tasha Swikert, and then now we have Simone Biles and Jordan Childs, and I couldn't be prouder.
And you helped pave the way for women like Simone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so honored to have you here, and good luck with your school as well. Take care.
I appreciate it. Take care.